Welcome to my channel. I'm Gary Wiryawan, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the new Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7. Let's go! So today is just going to be a short video. I wanna give you guys my reaction to the new Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7 lens. So as you guys know, I love micro four thirds cameras. I use them all the time for travel photography, for everyday kind of photography, as well as for making YouTube videos like this, and also for a little bit of filmmaking, and also for office work kind of stuff as well. And some of you guys who followed my channel might already know that I switched previously from Canon DSLR to micro four thirds. There are some reasons for that. If you want to watch the full video, I will link it up here. However, to summarize, I am attracted by micro four thirds, smaller size, lighter weight, overall a more compact system that's easier for me to travel the world with. Some of the lenses and also the cameras, they are small, they are lightweight, they don't take up that much space when you travel. Look at the lenses. These are the Laowa 7.5mm f2 and also the Olympus 45mm f1.8. These are very small lenses for what they are. And if you look over here, this is also an Olympus 9 to 18mm f4 to f5.6 and also a Panasonic 35 to 100mm f4 to f5.6. They are very small, they are collapsible, they are very lightweight, they don't take up that much space inside my travel bag, and they're just so easy to travel with, and that's why I love micro four thirds so much. Also, this guy right here, this is the Panasonic 14 to 140mm ultra zoom lens, which I just recently used on my Iceland travel. And if you guys want to check out about my Iceland travel gear, please check out this video up here above. But basically, yeah, this is also one of the lens, the main reason why I switched to micro four thirds. So yes, the cameras are smaller compared to full frame or APS-C. The lenses are also smaller when compared to APS-C and full frame as well. However, in the last few years, the development of micro four thirds cameras and lenses are started to gear toward professionals, and inevitably the camera bodies become bigger and the lenses also become bigger, and they are more catered toward professional users. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm glad that micro four thirds starts to gear toward professional photographers and filmmakers as well, because that way micro four thirds can become associated more with professional people. However, that left us, the enthusiasts, the travel people who needs travel cameras, not necessarily to make money, but more for hobby and for, you know, just a passion kind of thing. We get left behind by this movement of new, bigger and heavier cameras and lenses. What we really want is just smaller but more capable cameras and also smaller lenses like they used to make, like these little guys. They're so capable. They are maybe not the best of the best when you compare it to other formats, but they get the job done and they're very easy to travel with. So a few days ago, I noticed in the news that Panasonic Leica is launching the new 9mm f1.7 ultra-wide angle lens. And you know, at that time, I was still a little bit skeptical about the lens itself. Oh, it might turn out to be a big lens. It might be an expensive lens because of the Leica name. And you know, maybe it's not something that I want. However, after I researched about this 9mm f1.7 lens, I was surprised. The listed price is $499 US, and then the weight is only about 130 grams, and also the size is not that big. It's small, just like this lens right here, maybe just a little bit bigger because it's f1.7, but you know, it's what I want. It's what I need for my travel gear, and I'm just so glad that Panasonic finally recognized this enthusiast market again. Well, I don't have the lens right now. I haven't pre pre-ordered. Panasonic doesn't send me anything. I'm not affiliated to anyone. I'm simply just a hobbyist enthusiast who love to make videos about micro four thirds. However, I really think that if the specs are true, if what the reviewers currently saying are true, then it will be a fantastic lens. And yeah, that's something that I'm really interested to try out as well. 9mm, that will be as wide as this Olympus 9mm to 18mm f4 to f5.6. So at 9mm, it's ultra wide, but it's not really wide. Compared to the Laowa 7.5mm, this is significantly wider, 7.5 compared to 9mm. So yeah, I personally prefer the lens to be about 7 or 8mm. However, 9mm is not really a big deal for me. Maybe it will work out well, and maybe if it works well, then it can replace my 9 to 18mm f4 to f5.6 forever. So yeah, if you cannot tell by now, I'm very happy with the announcement of the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7. Finally, something that is small, that is lightweight, that has large aperture, and also weather resistant if I'm not mistaken, and something that I can use for travel photography and filmmaking again. And it's something that's very appealing to us enthusiasts because the price is not too high. And yeah, this is just a great news overall. Now the question, will I buy the lens? Well, that's a good question because the price is very attractive. $499. That's not too bad, considering that I have a Panasonic Leica 15mm that's currently recording this video right now. That's about the same price. And then I also have the 20mm. This is slightly more cheaper compared to both the 15 and the 9mm. I also have this Laowa 7.5mm, which is also about the same price with the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7. However, this is manual focus only, but it's wider. It's about, almost 2mm wider compared to that lens. So yeah, there's a little bit of that competition, especially with the Laowa 7.5mm and the Olympus 9 to 18mm. The reason why the Panasonic Leica works better compared to the Laowa is because it has autofocus. However, the Laowa is wider, and from my experience when I shoot landscape photography and a little bit of films in Iceland recently, I prefer something that's wider than 9mm most of the time because I can capture so much more, and if I need to crop, I can just crop in post-processing or something like that. So yeah, it's still a little bit of a toss-up between the two. And compared to the 9 to 18mm, yes, the Panasonic Leica 9mm has autofocus and it's as wide as this one, and it has larger f1.7 aperture, which will be beneficial for lower light situation, just like the Laowa with its f2. It's very beneficial for northern light photography like I just did in Iceland. However, with the 9 to 18mm from Olympus, it has one advantage that the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7 doesn't have, and it's the zoom. It can go to 18mm, which makes this into a perfect travel camera if you don't really need low light capabilities, because you can go wide to 9mm and you can go a little bit tighter to 18mm for a little bit of general purpose photography or street photography or food photography, even for environmental portrait. So this is a more flexible and more useful lens. Right now, I'm also currently looking at a used Panasonic Leica 8 to 18mm f2.8 to f4. Well, yes, this is a much bigger lens, a much heavier lens compared to everything that I have. They're all small, they are tiny, they are very lightweight, and the Panasonic Leica 8 to 18 is heavy monster. However, it also has the advantage of slightly better lower light capabilities when compared to the Olympus 9 to 18, although not as good as the Panasonic Leica 9mm, and it goes to 18mm, which I think is a very useful range as well for general purpose photography, as I just mentioned. So not only a landscape lens, but also for a little bit of general purpose photography and filmmaking, and that makes it a really good flexible travel lens, just one lens for everything. So yeah, that's also something that I'm considering before I pull the trigger on the Panasonic Leica 9mm. We'll have to see. So yeah, in conclusion, I'm still happy with the announcement of the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7. I hope that Panasonic and OM solution, OM digital system, whatever their name is right now, will continue this trend toward enthusiast people with the smaller but capable cameras and lenses in the future. I really hope that they won't forget about us, the enthusiasts and the hobbyists. Okay, so that is all for today's video. I hope that you find this video to be useful. So please comment down below and let me know. Are you excited about the new Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7? Alright, if you have any question about this video, also let me know in the comment and I will try my best to answer your comments as well. Also, don't forget to support my small channel by liking this video, sharing this video and subscribing to my channel below. It will help me to motivate me to keep making these videos for you. Thank you and goodbye.